What's up, team? So let's talk hitting. More specifically, let's talk about the lens through which we should be viewing major league swings. As you can see today, I have a couple of these 4D replays that I've broken down playing behind me. I love these clips because they give us a more comprehensive view of what's happening mechanically during these elite level swings. You can see that I've highlighted some different mechanical parts of these swings. With the Gleyber Torres clip, you can see his bat angle at launch position, you see a connected turn, and you see a firm front side. Then with that Ronald Acuna Jr. clip, you see I've highlighted a couple of additional things, like his hands being hidden behind his front shoulder and his front shoulder being down and in at launch position. You also see that he too has a super connected turn, as well as a firm front side and that same extension uphill. So when we're looking at all of this major league footage, how do we start to define the correct mechanics? With the video analysis portion of it, we want to try to objectively measure fundamentals through body geometry, basically where our body is in space. The key to this is approaching it with a scientific mind. That means number one, having a huge sample size. In other words, looking at what all of the greats have done throughout history, not just at what one individual did. And expanding that sample size daily by continuing to learn and study more and more video. And then also continually trying to disprove any hypotheses or conclusions that you may have drawn. Have a growth mindset. Always challenge what you assume to be true. Now, from that massive sample size, start to distill down what are the mechanics of these elite level hitters that seem to be the same or very similar among the overwhelming majority. So as a little guide, when we look at the swing, we break it down into 5 overarching pieces. Those 5 pieces are going to be the stance, our load process, then the launch position, our swing plane, and then the finish. Now, when looking at that massive sample size I alluded to, what you're going to notice is that there is a great deal more variation among these elite level hitters on the front end, being the stance and the load process, and on the back end, meaning the finish. However, the 2 in the middle, the launch position and the swing plane, you're going to see much more consistent mechanics. So, think of it like this. Does every guy stand the exact same in the box? No. They have different stances. Do they all have the same load process? No. Some guys do a big leg kick, some guys have a simple toe tap, some guys even have just a no stride. However, when they finish that load process and hit front toe touch, a huge majority of them are in a very similar position. And I'm talking about guys that grew up in completely different eras, guys that come from all different parts of the world, that never had the same hitting coach, yet they are all at a very similar position at that one instance. This is a profound piece of information if we're open to it. What it means is that through the natural selection process that occurs as players move up each level, anybody who didn't get into that position or make that adjustment, consciously or unconsciously, was weeded out the overwhelming majority of the time. Well, what does that tell us? It argues that we should try to be somewhat close to that position if we want to maximize our potential. Now, will there be exceptions to every rule? Absolutely. And as coaches, it's incredibly important that we understand there is more than one way to get the barrel to the ball. Be flexible, be open, be adjustable as a coach. The last thing that we want to do is require some sort of cookie cutter swing. But let's do our best to really understand what elements in a swing allow for athletes to insert more personal style and what elements leave room for a little less variation. By doing this, we can build super strong swing foundations that predispose athletes to having more success. Thanks so much for checking out our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, click the bell so you get notified whenever we post a new video. Show us some love. We really appreciate it. There's Millie hairs floating in front of there.